Hola, amigos.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Week 10 League Managers Note. I think it's 10.
Yeah.
Yep. We're halfway through the regular season. 9 full weeks have been played. As always, I'm the commish, Mr. Modest, and I'm joined by the champ, Joel Gibson.
As always.
Just a quick update. Some of you may have known that on Friday I was back in the hospital. I'm fine. I have some anxiety issues now. Still the concussion and everything, but everything's okay. Nothing to worry about. We're getting through it. But thanks everybody for looking out and caring about me. I really appreciate it. That being said, we'll get to this week's matchups. We'll start with the champs matchup. Battle of the Homestead boys. Joel Gibson wins 9-1-1. Somebody call 911.
Harden had a homecoming. He had a 50-point triple-double. He called me after the game. He was crying. He said, "This one was for you." He knew it didn't mean anything. It wasn't for Steven. It was for me. The matchup was long gone by that point.
Yeah, Lonzo had the TD with LeBron in the same game. That was so cool to see two players get a TD in the same game. First since 82, for those keeping track at home.
Are you believing in Lonzo yet?
No.
Nah?
No.
Not even a little bit?
No.
I don't believe you.
Next matchup, we'll do my matchup. I almost got Adam here. Adam wins 6-4-1. No triple doubles in this matchup, unlike the champs matchup. They both had one.
Yeah.
Adam, congratulations. I almost got you into a corner. You being the number one team and me just tanking, it felt good, but very nice avoiding that loss. That one would have hurt at the end of the season, I think. So outside of that, he keeps rolling. He's the only team with one loss, and he's now 2 games up on the next best record, and there's 4 of them with 3 losses. We'll get into those. So Adam at the top, sitting pretty.
Yeah, sitting pretty. You were so close. Again, a 1-category loss for you.
Yep. Quite a few of mine have been 1-category losses. I'm continuing to be competitive despite tanking. I'm not going to get a ton of wins. I know that. Trying to get that 8 seed, baby, though. Look out. Next matchup is Matt Hobert takes a loss to Kyle. Kyle is rolling right now, so I will give him his love that he's due. Matt drops down to 6-3. Kyle is at 5-4, or 4-5.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Kyle is almost at 500 again.
Almost at 500 again, and Matt's in that 4-way tie for the 2nd seed at this point. Next one, we have Cody ravaging Neiman. Neiman had DSJ issues this week, I know that. Cody put up a solid week, though. I don't know that DSJ was going to change very much.
Yeah.
Cody moves to 5-4. He is above 500. And then you've got Neiman, who is 3-6 like myself. He has the tiebreaker with me. So 9-10 for the two of us. Next matchup, we've got CJ using all 7 of his acquisitions this week smartly, in my opinion. Avoids the devastating loss. You don't want to take a loss to a bottom team, especially if you're in the middle of that cluster of records. You know what I mean? Every single one of these wins is super important. CJ went out and got it, beat the triple-double. So shout out to CJ. He moves to 5-4.
Above 500.
Above 500. Let's see here. Next matchup is Eric beating Doug. Not too much to say about that. Doug is 0-9.
Did Jonas sit a couple games this week, or was that last week?
He was threatening to. I thought when they were threatening for him to sit, I swear I saw a report where it said he was going to play. Overall, though, it really wouldn't have mattered.
No.
The categories were stretched out extremely wide.
Valanciunas broke a hand.
Yeah, Valanciunas broke a hand. That's what you call trade value for whoever traded him. Eric, he moves to 5-4, I believe. No, 6-3.
He's
is
in
also
the cluster.
He's in the cluster of that 2 spot, so he's at 6-3. And like I said, Doug is 0-9.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think that's it for this week. So I'll run through the standings real quick. Adam sits alone at 8-1 at the top. Then you've got a 4-way tie at 6-3. Fantrax rankings has them as such. Matt, Steven, Eric, and the champ at number 5. I just like saying that. I think that's cool. But they all have the same records. Joel and Eric both have 2 division losses. Steven and Matt both have 1 divisional loss, and that's the first round of tiebreaker. So we're going to start throwing those into the stats when we're talking about these clusters of groups. Next, we've got Cody and CJ at 5-4. Now, CJ's divisional is 4-1, and Cody's is 2-3. So I believe, and I know this is going to be a shock, that Fantrax is incorrect here. And I think that CJ should be number 6 and Cody should be number 7, just based on the divisionals. I'm not sure how that's working out. Number 8 is Kyle's alone at 4-5. He's 2-3 divisionally. He's on a win streak, 2 wins in a row. Shout out to Adam, who has the longest win streak in the league, 8 in a row. It's still incredible. He's mimicking your season where you lost the first week and then just ripped through.
Yeah.
Simmons is at 2-7, and Doug is at 0-9. So those are your rankings. We can get right into next week's matchups.
I was asking you earlier, who took over that most cats stat?
Yes, the most cats gain stat is now Joel's by a fucking long shot.
Oh, whoa! Say what?
62.5 categories won for Joel Gibson. The next closest one is Hobert at 59.5. I took Adam down quite a bit by snatching 4 of those categories, you know?
Get out of here, Matt Hobert.
The highest ranked team right now, though, with the lowest categories won, is actually Steven. Steven actually has a negative. Wow. He has 48 categories for, and he has 51 categories against, and he's still second. That's incredible. He actually has a negative Cats 4.
Wow.
That's nuts. Shout out to Steven, man. Wow, that's well fucking done to keep that kind of win. That's nuts. Longest win streak's obviously Doug.
You mean...
Or losing streak is obviously Doug. Outside of that, I don't see anything that really sticks out as far as the stats go. So we can get into next week.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll start with the champs matchup as always. Another battle of the Homestead boys back to back here. Joel is away at CJ. CJ's not afraid to cycle here. Joel is still without Barton. I'm interested to see what is going on with Barton. There's been too many like prolonged absences for my taste.
Well, I talked to Barton about it. And he was saying, we don't really need to rush me out there. Steven is going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be the second Homestead boy that we might need to bring you out for. So, I think Tuesday's his next potential game to play. I think we'll see him.
All right. I don't see the triple-double being a part of this matchup.
Jokic!
I don't see it happening, so for me, it's really going to come down to who can get those 5 categories.
What about Lonzo?
Joel has to get 6 categories. CJ only has to get 5. A strong cycle from CJ might force Joel to actually spend some free agent money, and we know that CJ will cycle. I still think Joel's going to be able to come out on top on this one. But CJ, if you win, I will be shouting your name from the rooftops, my friend.
Well, I think CJ is going to lose. Here's why. He barely held up with Simmons, who's down 2 guys.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's not going to be the case with me, big fella. I'm coming.
Next matchup, we've got Doug away at Kyle. Kyle's starting to heat up here. I like his players. He's got Depot back. He's really excited. I think Kyle's going to win this one pretty handedly. Poor Doug's taking injuries now that he's still man. No, I don't think he's man down anymore. I think Markkanen's back playing.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah,
So-
he's back in.
So Doug should have a full boat at this time, but it's not going to be enough against Kyle.
No, Kyle's playing well. Kyle will have his 3rd win in a row.
Yep. Next matchup, we've got Simmons at Neiman. Simmons continues to get those triple doubles, which makes him competitive in every single matchup that he's in. I think it's difficult for him to have Millsap on his roster when we know he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. So a tough stretch for Simmons here.
Gary Harris, too.
Gary Harris is also out. I just think that Neiman's going to have too much quality plays that it's really going to hurt that Simmons is playing with, I don't know, he's shooting blanks, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, with just zeros coming in.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. And I think if they were both healthy, it would be really interesting. Embiid versus Davis, but they're just not healthy. So
Yep, I'm going to take Neiman.
taking Neiman as well.
Next matchup here, we've got 3 interesting matchups in my opinion. The first one, and probably the least interesting, is Cody at me. I'm the home team, so I'm gonna make it competitive. But Cody just played really well last week. He's healthy, so I think Cody's gonna end up beating me here. But look what I did with Adam. Pay attention on your lineups. I'm still gonna make you play. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're going to sneak a win here or there.
I might look out if I could ever get Dragic back on the court. I'd be okay. I'd feel like, but
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to pick Cody.
yeah, I would too. Turner is fucking ramping up though. Just saying, $31 is not a lot, fellas. We can work it out. He's the blocks leader now. Let me say that again. He's the blocks leader now. He shoots threes. He makes those free throws. He's starting to get double doubles. His players are yelling at him for not shooting enough. It's a good position for him to be in. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. Good luck, Cody. Next one is Eric at Adam. Adam's the home team here, and he can just put up in the categories. I know Eric's going to have a severe 3-point advantage.
Yeah.
Because we were only in the 40s, 50s area, and Eric's been in the 60s like every week. That man, he can shoot threes.
Sure. That said, if there was going to be a kryptonite, it's going to be Steph Curry.
Yep. Yeah, you never know. If he's going to drop like a 7 to 10 3-point game, all of a sudden it's relevant. I'm going to take Adam at home here. He only has 1 loss, so from like here on out, I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt. If I'm on the fence about something, I'm going with Adam. He's cashing checks this year.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with Eric. I just got a feeling. I like Chris Dunn coming back. He's got... Eric was mimicking my Chris and Chris combo last year.
Yeah, it's crazy that the Chris and Chris is back together.
Yeah, he didn't get the 3rd Chris. Because I had Chris Paul too, if you remember.
Yeah, you did.
You know, I think Eric's gonna take it.
Okay.
It's the beginning of the end for Adam.
You hope so.
We'll see.
The last matchup is probably my most compelling matchup for me. It's Matt at Steven. Matt took a bad loss last week, and he really needs this win. And Steven actually said live on our show that Matt was the team that he was most afraid of.
It's true.
So we're going to see this week, unless Steven can figure something out with OPJ and stuff like that. Matt had a slow week. He didn't have a ton of plays. So you are going to see an uptick in the amount of volume that he's going to have. And I think that's going to be enough to beat Steven, to get 6 categories and beat Steven. So I'm going to pick Matt.
Yeah. Well, I think, is OPJ playing this week?
He was out today. So unless there's an update that says for sure he's coming back. I also don't think Mirotic.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter Jr. has kind of went into a shell of himself.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Matt. The injuries, I think, are just a little bit too much for Steven right now.
Yeah.
He's still got a little bit of my juju on him.
Yeah, and he's given up categories. Like we discussed earlier, he'll give up categories. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take Matt, like I said. Outside of that, that's all I really got.
Well, there'll be one less team in the mix for the number 2 spot.
Yep. Matt whoever wins this matchup will likely be the front runner of the ties, I would say, because the tiebreakers, Matt has the tiebreaker against you, right? I believe so, yes. So you both beat Steven.
Yeah.
He would likely be at the top if my calculations are right.
And then you got to think about Eric and Adam. Eric is in the 6 and 3 mix as well.
Yep. So if Eric loses and Adam proceeds, then it's going to be Matt in that front runner spot, of that 2 spot, if he can take this win.
Adam becomes touchable.
Adam now has to lose a game to become touchable to that cluster of 4. So every week is going to be a battle for Adam, and that number 1 spot, I bet, feels really nice right now.
We're going to touch him, and we're going to fuck him.
Also, just a little formal announcement. There's been writings on the wall, but I just want to confirm for everybody that next year we're going back to ESPN. My plan is, once we get all the keepers and everything back in line, I'm going to get them transferred back onto ESPN. I never closed the old league, so it really shouldn't be that much of a problem as far as uptick. I'll start the list again. I just got to convert from Fantrax to the list. So what I want to do is I want to wait until longer in the season before I start that list, because I don't want to be updating 2 things every time everybody's adding it. So I'll likely wait till season's end to at least start that list again. I've not been a fan of Fantrax, and I believe an overwhelming majority of you would agree with me. I want to go back to something that we're just comfortable with, and also for the People's Champ year. I want everything to be about me next year. So, outside of that, anything else from you, Champ?
No. Good luck to everyone this week.
Yep.
Next week is Christmas week, right?
Yep, next week will be Christmas week. I think it's like Sunday, Monday, somewhere in there. Our next League Managers Note's going to be our Christmas episode, so I'll be decked out in my Christmas apparel.
Shit.
Look forward to that.
Absolutely.
All right, good luck, everybody.
See you guys.